Got Garrett Nelson in the black trunks, Eddie Perlaza in the white. These guys are ready to go.
Man, I am excited about this one. It could be quick.
Came out there throwing heavy and hard, fast.
Nelson coming out with a flurry to trade with Perlaza. Perlaza's a stand-up guy here. But, man, Garrett came in with a vengeance. I do not think they expected that.
Yeah, caught him off guard a little bit, and then looks to cinch him up for a takedown.
Garrett really deep.
Pulls him in the top.
Full mount. But this is where Garrett wants to be. Garrett wants to be on the ground. This is not where Eddie wants to be, even if he is in full mount. This early in the fight, too. A lot of energy. Garrett recovers half guard, but Perlaza's still in good, dominant top position. I think he'd be smart here. He's going to want to stand up.
So he's going to
and Garrett
sweep him.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, regardless, he was still on the ground. I think it would have been, I know it might have been crazy, but I think Perlaza should have just stood up out of mount. Garrett is putting on a pace here. He's
great
a man on a mission.
strategy there by him.
You know, and when you're fighting for your family and your dad, that's the kind of intensity you got to bring to this kind of fight, because I can tell you firsthand that sometimes it can drain you. You can feel like you're not even in a fight, but Garrett made sure that he came out slinging. Eddie doing a good job here, staying composed, being smart. Got to keep that elbow down. He can't get that up for the arm triangle. Garrett is just keeping heavy, heavy pressure, but Eddie keeps working in his elbows, keep working in hip escapes.
Really trying to drive that arm up.
Expect an explosion here soon. I would not be surprised. Eddie doing a good job at stripping that hip out. Got to keep that guard closed, though. Don't give Garrett the pass. You know, this is a really dominant position, if you ask me, in MMA, is the half guard. Oh, man. Garrett slinging some heat real quick. Eddie climbing a high guard. Garrett is kind of relaxing here, but he needs to definitely get his ass down and get his posture up so he can defend this armbar attempt that Eddie's about to throw at him. Eddie's an athlete. Make no bones about it.
Wrist up.
Smart here, being smart, playing smart. Garrett, though, throwing a punch while in danger. Goes to the triangle attempt, but Garrett was ready for it, so he passed easily.
Finds himself in side control.
But I mean, the real thing here, though, is that the round's going to end soon, and we're going to have to start on our feet again, which is where I think Eddie wants this fight to be. But let's see how much energy that Garrett's straightening out of him playing on the ground this much.
And we'll see if he's able to implement that same strategy.
Garrett's got to be smart here.
Oh.
10 seconds left. Garrett doing a good job with an active guard, and Eddie finally backs up and tells him to stand up with him. You know,
right at the end of the round, yeah, that's a little too late.
Should have did that a lot sooner, but yes, indeed. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. Teamwork makes the dream work.
So, Eddie none the worse for wear despite that flurry. I think actually he got the better of it at the end. There was a lot of punches thrown. I think he landed something heavy right at the end, and that's when Garrett changed levels and switched it up to a takedown. For sure, but, I mean, a little too late, I think. You know, Garrett walked away with that first round pretty handily. Hands down.
The way he came forward and was throwing punches and put Eddie on his heels. You know, Eddie wants space. For sure, Eddie wants space. But Garrett gave him none. You know, and if I were to game plan for these guys, I would tell Eddie to keep his space, and I would tell Garrett to come inside and close that space, get rid of that space, because that's where Eddie's going to be. Eddie. When you see it, he likes spin kicks, a lot of long-range attacks.
We'll see if he's able to do that again.
Man, and Garrett starts with a head kick. Eddie's corner yelling at him to be first. He can't be a counter striker. He has to put combos together. He has to come forward and put pressure, because if you're backing up against a wrestler, you're going to get taken down. A little off the cage action. Hit him with a straight right. Oh, nice counter hook from Garrett. Man, Garrett's not afraid to stand with Eddie. And I think, even I thought he was going to be, diving at the feet for a takedown.
A heavy shot landed there.
Yeah,
fired back.
He returns, but it's definitely a different kick. Eddie is putting everything into those kicks. And Garrett is letting him get that range. This is what he needs to do. Come forward and finish with a takedown. That's how he's going to win this fight. Eddie's got to do a better job at angling off and keeping that from happening. Eddie's corner is yelling that he's getting tired. I don't know how I feel about advice of an opponent being tired. I feel like that makes the fighter think maybe that something's going to get easier. And in the fight game, nothing ever gets easier. And even if someone is tired, they can still push that pace. So, doing a good job telling him to get that wrist control now, giving him good sound advice. Garrett's putting that pressure against the cage, hitting him with knees, staying a little active. Man, he's throwing really big knees. That's going to limit Eddie's movement.
He's got great pressure on him up against the cage.
Either one of these guys could win this position if they would jockey for head position. Right now, Garrett's kind of in a slouch position, not really doing much. And Eddie's got a good wizard, but Eddie needs to use his head position like Garrett is now starting to do under the chin. There he stops him there on the cage. Oh, Garrett putting a little hot sauce on the kick now. A little head kick. I think Garrett needs to stay more active. Eddie starts throwing after Garrett gets done.
Yeah.
But as long as Garrett's throwing, Eddie's not really throwing. Nice knee from Eddie. Should have spun off there, though. Let him take him straight to the cage, and this is a lot of energy.
I think this is all still really playing into the wheelhouse of Garrett.
For sure this is. Eddie wants space. Eddie wants to be able to use those flashy kicks, his range.
Thus far, Garrett doing a great job of not giving him that opportunity, even whenever the space is available.
Yeah, both these guys have very different game plans, and it's one of those fights whenever two guys have completely different game plans and one's able to implement theirs and push the pace the way they want it to be pushed, it ends up being a one-sided fight. But Eddie's athletic, he's young, and he's real explosive. Anything could land and end up ending the fight. He has some crazy kicks, and Garrett's done a good job at keeping him from being able to show those.
Last few seconds here of the second round.
Yeah, I think Eddie's hanging out on that cage a little too long. He needs to look to turn and strike and break away. He's letting the grappling happen a little too much.
Yeah, I think Eddie needs to come out with a sense of urgency here in the third round and not let Garrett dictate the pace or the space. As I've got Garrett winning both the first and the second round, and so I think Eddie needs to figure something out here in the third, and he's going to have to get a finish to win this one back.
For sure. They are, they're both breathing kind of hard, but both of them look focused. Eddie's not out of this fight by any means. He's not getting ragdoll. He's not gassed.
Maybe just a little frustrated with Garrett implementing his game plan and having success with it, thus far. He's not necessarily getting beat up. Like you said, he's not getting thrashed around.
Yeah, you can expect something really flashy. I guarantee you at the beginning of this round, I would almost put money on that Eddie's going to throw something flashy to start this round. Use that range while he has it. Kept throwing that single leg kick. You can't keep throwing that single leg kick. He's got to put hands behind it. If he doesn't put hands behind it, Garrett's going to time it, come in, rush him, and get a takedown. But, man, those kicks are hard.
Well, there's some of that flash. Just watched him look at the pylon before he took off for it.
And Garrett is probably content to take these the entire round and win a decision. But Garrett has to be careful. He has to put on because this kid will explode, just like he just did.
Right.
He's got to still fight, and he's still got to go after it this round because Eddie could easily get a 10-8 round. And let's see, Garrett being smart here, ties him up. Eddie got a little too close.
Eddie's corner pleading with him to get out of this position.
Garrett's got his hands locked. If he would reshoot, he'd probably get it. And Eddie Eddie's in a real tough position, but he's doing a hell of a job defending it, keeping that arm in. But see, we're right back where Garrett wants to be. Even though he missed what he was trying to do, Eddie doesn't want to be here with him, especially not while he's tired. In the third round of a fight, he is sweaty, so that's different. A little protected because he's by the cage, but the cage can also be used against him if he doesn't watch out.
Yeah, Eddie's corner are pleading with him to just stand up.
He needs to stand up properly. Tell him to get up. He needs to back up. He needs to finish. He needs to win big. He needs to.
There he goes. Tells him to stand up.
Garrett put that chin down. But see, when he's throwing punches, Eddie is just too reserved. He needs to counter more. But Garrett that was almost a big shot. Garrett almost out of exhaustion, slipped out of the way, but that could have been a big one.
Eddie really tearing up the leg, but
I'm sure Garrett's leg's going to be sore tomorrow, but it's going to take more than a leg. Got to watch that range. Garrett does such a good job and then pulls guard underneath him to keep the fight where he wants it. He knows all he's got to do is win.
Eddie able to posture up, start landing some strikes. Garrett's got to get out of that position.
This is why you do not go inverted in an MMA fight. That is a prime example of why you do not go inverted
do something
in an MMA fight. Eddie, like I said, he has the energy. He's young. He's athletic. He can do this in the third round. Garrett's got to be he's doing a good job at surviving here. But like I said, this could be a 10-8 round. And Garrett ends up on top. Oh, man. But, man, that flurry. I don't know how much. He got 10 seconds left. Garrett needs to do something big here. Just in the judge's eyes. He's on top. That's a good start. But, man, what a third round. You cannot take off on this.
Orlando.
I think this is going to be a very interesting decision. I think it could be
battle.
I think it's going to be a draw. I'm calling it a draw. But we'll see. I'm going to
battle. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision. The judges have ruled by unanimous decision. Fighting out of the blue corner, Garrett Nelson.
Garrett Nelson gets the unanimous decision here tonight over Eddie Perlaza, taking his record to 4.
Hard work,